My name is Stephen Sindoni, and thank you for tuning in to the broadcast of DMSO Cancer Cure, Fact or Fiction. In today's program, I will put the spotlight on cancer. Many of you out there listening have had or know someone who has crossed over from cancer or other fatal illnesses. I myself have an experience with my younger brother who crossed over, and being a power of attorney and care provider for my brother in his last years here on earth, I got to see and witness for myself the mounds of pills that the doctors were prescribing and the treatments that he was under, and I questioned the medical profession many times on why my brother was dying a slow, sure death. I began by researching the ingredients that were in the pills my brother was taking, and alarmed to find out most all of them were addicting. I then immediately went down to see a friend who owned a health food store and showed him the pills that my brother was taking and see if he and I could come up with a remedy that would help prolong my brother's life. But to my surprise, I learned that my brother had been on these pills for over a dozen years, and it would be almost impossible to try to detoxify him now. It's not an easy thing to do, to watch your younger brother die slowly from pills that he was ingesting every day, and then come to learn when I would see the bills come in from the insurance companies that these pills were costing $1,000 a month. It didn't seem fair that the doctors who were prescribing these pills for my brothers were riding around in expensive cars while my brother was confined to a wheelchair. It just didn't seem fair. And when I would take my brother to see his physician, I would look on the wall and see the doctor's license to practice, and I would question it. If he was a healer, he would be able to do more than just practice on my brother. He would be able to heal my brother from his afflictions and his sicknesses and not take advantage of my brother's suffering. And when I questioned the prescriptions that the physician was giving my brother, he got upset with me, as though I was supposed to trust but not verify or not question what he was prescribing, which I found amazingly ludicrous. It would be an understatement to say here now that the doctor and I saw eye to eye. And on many of these visits with my brother to the doctor, I was surprised to see salesmen who were let in first to see the doctor before the sick patients were able to see the doctor on their set appointment times. These salesmen were directing the doctors as to what prescriptions were best to give their patients, as though by providing these prescriptions they would get frequent flyer miles or brownie points or dollars or commission for giving these patients these pharmaceutical products. And as I watched this scenario unfold before my very eyes, I became disillusioned with the medical profession. And now I'll get back to the story at hand, DMSO, Cancer Cure, Fact or Fiction. DMSO is what I believe to be nature's answer to cancer. So what is DMSO? DMSO is an alternative cancer treatment. Years of research studies have proven it is safe and effective. It is legal, but because it has to be prescribed off-label, the FDA approved it, but not as a cancer treatment. Patients' insurance companies cannot be billed for it. It is not available through most cancer treatment centers for this reason. In short, for dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO is a natural substance, a byproduct of the lumber industry, which supplies it to the pharmaceutical industry for veterinary and human use. In its crude form, this carrier solvent is often used by veterinarians and athletic coaches in the treatment of muscle sprains and various injuries. DMSO promotes healing by increasing the blood supply to the area of the injury. The pure pharmaceutical grade is FDA approved for treatment of intestinal cystitis, bladder inflammation. DMSO is a gentle but powerful healing substance. There is extreme medical research literature extending back decades and covering thousands of patients proving the safety of DMSO its uses, and also its effectiveness as a cancer treatment. Links to that evidence may be found on the following website. And that website is CamelotCancerCare.com. Are there any side effects associated with DMSO treatment? A few patients have reported a mild headache or a spell of chills. This is rare and disappears when the IV drip rate is slowed. DMSO has a slight odor like garlic and oysters. This fades away within 2 days after the final treatment. DMSO is gentle and non-toxic, and it does not ordinarily cause nausea and vomiting, nor does it routinely destroy health tissue or blood cells, unlike standard chemo. And it won't cause anemia except in cases where disease progression has damaged the pancreas or gallbladder, or in cases where prior standard chemotherapy and/or disease progression has damaged the bone marrow's ability to regenerate replacement red blood cells. And DMSO has none of the miserable side effects common to most standard chemotherapy agents. Research indicates that it protects against common side effects of standard chemo and radiation. It also improves circulation, thus protecting against blood clot formation, which is a risk of surgery and a common complication of advancing malignancy. Is DMSO effective as a cancer treatment? Yes. Response varies among patients depending upon various factors, but we are generally able to buy quality time for patients in cases which are too far advanced to reverse. In the documented research literature and in actual cases, we have witnessed first-hand evidence that shows it has brought about total remission on many high-grade aggressive tumors which have progressed to the lymph nodes and other areas of the body. Camelot Cancer Care's greatest success has been against the lymphomas, the glioblastoma, the melanoma, prostate, and colon cancer. So if DMSO is so effective, why isn't DMSO available throughout most cancer treatment centers? There are 2 reasons: medical bureaucracy and economics. Most doctors are in fear that by offering it to their patients it could make them vulnerable to attack from the AMA or the FDA. And also a major reason is that institutions cannot bill patients' insurance companies for DMSO treatments. The claims would only be denied because even with the evidence that DMSO is an effective cancer treatment, the FDA never approved it for that purpose. Even though there are obstacles with the FDA and Big Pharma, DMSO is sold in health food stores, mail order outlets, and on the internet, and in most countries around the world. It is used by millions for its health benefits in the United States. DMSO has FDA approval only as a preservative of stem cells, bone marrow cells, and organs for transplants, and for interstitial cystitis, a painful inflammatory condition of the bladder which is very difficult to treat with other therapies. And if you search for DMSO on the United States National Library of Medicine, pubmed.gov, you'll get almost 30,000 index results, making it one of the most studied compounds of our time. Yet we are led to believe that DMSO can't pass the required regulations for its approval in other medical conditions, even though its effectiveness and low toxicity profile is unquestionable. It does make one wonder. In closing, I'd like to thank everyone for watching DMSO, Cancer Cure, Fact or Fiction.
Can you feel me near you? Tommy, can you see me? Can I help to cheer